fueling the fires now exploding across half a dozen states, new evacuations, and a desperate need for water with no end in sight. Back now, and we turn to the west. Firefighters are still battling dozens of wildfires tonight. That situation is not being helped by severe, in some places, extreme drought conditions. The very worst of it right now is in New Mexico. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez went to one town where there is no water at all.
While thousands of firefighters rush to squelch flames in 6 western states, in Magdalena, New Mexico, no fire yet, but there's already a state of emergency.
About as dry as it gets, and I tell you, water is a precious commodity.
Earlier this month, the town's well ran dry. Mayor Sandy Julian is now fighting for water. Some days the village is none, other times barely enough. Officials have trucked in tankers. They're rationing water bottles and trying to calm fears.
We're praying for rain.
Jonathan Hafey runs the only laundromat for 60 miles.
The stress itself is just beyond anything I ever imagined or experienced in my life.
He wonders how he'll support his wife and 4-year-old daughter and fears bankruptcy. Resident Bill Fuller has other concerns.
Tomorrow, there may not be any water in the well, and we'll have no water pressure at all, no way to flush the toilet.
The situation is dire enough that city officials and some local businesses have rented porta potties throughout town to conserve water. New Mexico is now part of the drought's epicenter. Since 2012, notice how the dark red areas have shifted west.
This year's drought is focused more of this over the southwest, where last year's drought was focused more of the north central plains and into the Midwest.
Those dry conditions are fueling what could be a record fire season. Today in Colorado, 8 fires are stretching resources to the limit, and crews are battling a growing 7,000-acre blaze near Prescott, Arizona.
This stuff is primed to burn.
On the lines, a desperate need for water, much like this small town.
This year is the worst one I've seen.
Which is begging the state for money to fix its well. But with no significant rain expected for months, this water war has no end in sight. Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, Magdalena, New Mexico.